loading up the hearse, throw it in reverse. I come from the church of the Marvel Universe. Bodies getting stuffed in the back.
All right. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Cryptcast. I'm Mike.
What up? I'm Brian.
And we are coming to you from inside the Comic Crypt in Eatontown, New Jersey. And we're here to give you that little bit of new comic book day that you might be missing in your life. You know, you don't have a local comic shop to go to. You don't have a pull list for whatever reason. Maybe you're on vacation.
Move. If you don't have a local comic shop to go to, move.
Hey,
where you live sucks.
I mean, we have a pretty high concentration in New Jersey of comic shops, and still, even after multiple closings over the past decade, there's still I could go to easily drive to 4 comic shops right now.
I don't know how factual it is, but at one point I heard or was under the impression that we were the comic book capital of the world. Jersey had more comic book stores per mile.
I mean, we're tiny, and we have lots and lots of people.
Yeah.
But there's got to be people out there who's I've been in towns in Pennsylvania and in different places where it's there's nothing around here. Upstate New York, nope, sorry.
The nerdhood is strong in Jersey.
But welcome. If you want
to, who would know that many small toilers knew how to read?
Ouchies. How long have you lived here?
Too long.
Mm-hmm. One of us, Gooble Gobble. So, we do have an email this week, and it is from Ped at Nerdy Naturalists. He sent a question previously. He's got his own YouTube channel that does fun science, pop culture, crossover stuff.
The green!
Yes.
The answer to all his questions is the green.
One of his more recent videos was, what's the thing made of, and how does rocks work? Stuff like that. I suggest you go check him out. Anyway, so he says, "Hey guys, still enjoying the pod. Given the latest trend in folks mistrusting science, it had me thinking about the long history of scientists serving as villains in comics. I wondered if storytelling can be partly blamed for public perception. Some of Marvel and DC's best villains are scientists. Osborn, Doc Ock, Mr. Freeze, Luthor, Doom, the list goes on and on. Why do you think that is?"
He didn't name any of the bad villains, like Tony Stark and Reed Richards, and they're the worst.
Is it that they have to appear intelligent to seem harder to defeat? Did comic writers have a negative opinion of science? I know there's plenty of good guy scientists too, but there seems to be more villains. Related, there are so many heroes whose origins begin with crappy science. Hulk and the Flash, for example. Was this writers just keeping up with what was trending in the news without actually ever taking the time to understand it? And he signs off with, "Let's make science cool again." So,
I mean, these guys are, old. They got comic creators, when they're first getting started in this shit, DC writers, whatever, the 40s.
Yeah, but they came out of pulps and stuff.
Yeah, but it's these guys grew up with atomic bombs first being made. Mm-hmm. Guys Einstein and shit, and so they were really smart, but were they good guys? Were they revered?
Are you talking about the actual people?
Yeah. I'm saying
yes. I'm gonna say yes because they helped win the war.
Sure.
Maybe not von Braun because he was a Nazi, but
Sure, but comic.
Well, that was after the fact.
Comic creators being more of the everyday man and the liberal ear to the ground small neighborhood guys could be hey maybe creating fucking bombs that can blow up half the planet aren't good.
Yeah, but none of the villains did that. All the villains are like you said, they have some bespoke technology that allows them to do something that no one else can do, and they use it for evil. Oh yeah, I'm just saying the perspective on science as a whole. I think it's a positive one. I think they're misinformed what was going on. I don't know. I don't think that science as a whole, villain or hero, is viewed very highly through comic book interpretation, because Hank Pym done fucked up, Reed Richards done fucked up, Tony Stark done fucked up. Even the goodest good guys, they screwed up. I mean, look at what was the event leading into Secret Wars, right? Didn't they all just build an atomic bomb to blow up another planet? They're not science is bad. Scientists can be bad. It's all about application, right?
Right. But I'm saying, real world science, vaccines, and
drones and atomic bombs and things that also murder people.
I'm just saying, largely in real world application, science is used for good. Whereas, like, 9 times out of 10...
I don't know, man.
No, listen, I'm with you with, like, drones being bad and shit like that. Like yeah. Like, you know... And not even just, like, kill you with drones, like, just invasion of privacy.
I was just saying as a way to, like, we weaponize everything. And that tends to be the biggest, like, motivator for scientific, leaps forward is, like, what are the military applications? So, therefore, it is going to kill somebody.
All right, but I'm arguing that there's better usage for science in the real world. There's better intent in all comic book stuff. It's always bad. What have they done? What has any scientist in the Marvel Universe or DC Universe done to help anyone, ever?
I think part of the problem is because we get so close to what the heroes are doing, it would never show that there is broader, like, consequences to, like, their technology going out. It's always like, well, this is very hard to do, so we can't get it out to the mass public for whatever reason. Or there's always an excuse, or we never see it. You
can't fix anything in comic books, because then the story ends. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't make the world a utopia.
Yeah, you always need drama.
It's not science, but look like when the X-Men had the Phoenix Force and they were, like, fixing stuff, like irrigating third world countries and water. Sure. But, like, you can't. Like, you can't. Mm-hmm. So, like, even Tony Stark and Hank Pym and Reed put their heads together and they're like, we're going to fix the planet.
Right.
They're not. Like, something's going to go wrong.
It's a story thing. Yeah, sure.
Right. So, you know, like, I would say in the terms of, like, villains, most of them started off with good intent. Like, most science, I hope, is.
But is it, like, you have someone like Doc Ock who is so narcissistic and into what he's doing. I don't think there was ever, like, he didn't, like, get the Doc Ock arms and, like, now I'm a bad guy. You know what I mean? Like, there are people that, you know, the mad scientists.
I mean, he kind of did. The arms were just there to help him in the lab, you know? Like, it wasn't until they, like, got fused with him.
Yeah, but not every scientist started with good intention.
Like, Doc Connors just wanted an arm back.
Yeah, I would say
he didn't want to be a lizard.
Yes, I would say Doc Connors is one of those dudes who is a victim of, like, he had good intentions because it's a technology that was going to help people regrow limbs and things like that, and it went horribly wrong, right?
Yeah.
But you also have guys like Captain Cold. He built a freeze gun, right? For what purpose did he build that freeze gun?
Wow, what a
crime?
What a stretch, though, because, like, he is never portrayed as a scientist.
But he built some super technology, didn't he?
I'm going to say yes because I don't know his origin. He might have just stolen it. He's a thief.
All right, let's put that aside because we can't verify.
Yeah, Captain Cold doesn't work. What about like Poison Ivy?
I was going to bring up Mr. Freeze. I think they're kind of in a similar vein for different motivations.
But, you know, Mr. Freeze wanted to save his wife.
Right, so he has a good motivation, but is specifically creating technology, appropriating technology to do crime with in order to be selfish and save his wife, right?
No, I mean, the crime is a happenstance, like, because the cryogenic freezing or whatever of Nora, and he got subjected to shit, so that's why he needs the suit, and then crime fell in after that because in order to sustain him and her.
Sounds like an excuse to me.
I mean, sure, but, like, you know, this is a guy who just wanted to save his wife, screwed himself.
Right.
You know,
but he's
people like, this isn't okay, you lose funding, and now you're just like, well, now, like, I die if I don't steal shit, like, I die.
Uh-huh.
You know, I mean, a wife in a bottle or not, I die.
Yeah,
you know, both of us are screwed if I die. So, you know, like, it's that, you know, you know, Ivy just wants to save the planet.
Right, but I think she's
from us.
Yes, but I also think she took a harder turn when she turned into Ivy, into, like, well, now I can do this, I'm very powerful, where she was very meek beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, before she got, like, the super plant upgrade, you know, but she was still, like, very pro rainforests and anti big business.
Yes, you could be like, you could have, like, eco leanings, but she didn't really become an eco terrorist until she turned into Ivy, right?
No, she was always an eco-terrorist. I would say she's a more efficient eco-terrorist.
Sure,
now she's part of
the eco, yeah. But so to bring it back just a little bit, I don't think, like, the creators had, like, anti-science in their mind. I don't think they were trying to villainize scientists in any way.
No, because I would say they're all empathetic villains.
I don't
most
necessarily agree, but okay.
Who's not?
I can't come up with an example off the top of my head right now.
I'm with you. There's a villain out there who's right, not, and I'd be like, you know, Armanzola is probably not. You know,
he was a Nazi.
Right. That's what I'm saying. There are definitely scientists out there that just suck. Bad
So
science.
was Werner von Braun.
Ivo, right? The DC mad scientist, Ivo, right? He created Amazo, you know, and Tio Maro,
Yeah.
right? Like these guys, like they're just building murder robots for the sake of building.
Yeah, we have that in Marvel too. They're called Trasks and things.
Right. Right. But like Trask isn't so much as like he's viewed as a scientist.
Well, he facilitated the Sentinel program. Whatever. Anyway. But yeah, I don't think it's coming from a place from the writers who are trying to like villainize science in any way. I think it was just a convenient way to get superpowers on people. I actually read an article a couple years ago, so forgive me for being really, really vague, but it was talking about how the science at the time would inform how powers happened within the superhero community, or even before within pulps, right? So you have a point in time where like vitality is like a big thing, you know, like exercise and supplements are going to give you superpowers. That's around the time that Captain America happened. You know, he got a serum that made him the best kind, like the peak of human mobility, blah 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 blah. And then like atomic power came around, and all the heroes from that era had radiation / atomic like base powers. Spider-Man, Hulk, Fantastic Four, you know, pick your Silver Age Marvel guy. They all got it through radiation, right?
Poor Steve's progression. Modern science didn't help Steve out at all. Because like back in the day, it sounded like he had like a protein shake and some vitamins and became Captain America.
But basically, what it is. But like, what ends up happening is like when a science is new and mysterious, it gets used in this way because we don't understand it, and it's like, oh, you could get superpowers, and then it turns into we do more study, and then once the public kind of gets information on how it actually works, that goes away, and we move on to the next thing. And the whole point of the article is making the point that like magic will always be around because magic's not real and can never be explained.
There you go, right out of Mike's mouth. The next wave of superheroes based on Tesla.
Well, that's not magic. That's electricity.
We're talking about science, not magic.
But it was an interesting article. Like I said, I read it a few years ago.
We're going to shoot Teslas into space on a SpaceX rocket, and they're going to come back as like, you know, mutant Elons. more mutant Elons.
Are you just proposing? God damn it! What's that movie? Stephen King movie, Maximum Overdrive.
Yes, but
they won't even
Alien and
well, it was a meteor. A meteor went over. Yeah, I believe that's what it was. A meteor like flew over the Earth and like made all
the machines.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
But we won't have to pump gas. We'll have to plug them in.
If Boston doesn't burn down all the terminals.
Sure. Yeah. So it's.
Yeah. Did we even answer the question?
I'm looking back right now because it was a So it was. Some of Marvel and DC's best villains are scientists. He gives a bunch of examples. Why do you think that is? Did comic writers have a negative opinion of science? We've already answered that. No. And was this writer just keeping up with what was trending in the news? Yeah. So we did that. Yeah. So I think we answered everything, right? Why scientists? I think it's because it's an easy way to get powers into it.
I'm also going to say motivation. Guys just needing to steal stuff because they're greedy. It's kind of, you know, it's like, okay, can be so many average Joe kind of crooks and stick 'em up guys.
Yeah, they're all Spider-Man
there already are too many of them, like Tombstone and
I was just
Hammerhead and
even think of guys who were just schmoes who got super suits like Scorpion and Rhino, who are just like, yeah, you've got like powers now.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I want to know what inspired that kind of villain, like the guy who gets stuck in a suit forever. Yeah, way more empathetic. It's like I gotta shit in here. Like what? Like we gotta talk. I need logistics.
They all have butt flaps,
right? Like, you know, they should have the little
button flaps. Yeah. Oh, that'd be adorable on Grizzly.
Is Grizzly another one stuck in his suit?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
He's like Rhino, but he's a bear. So you just see his face in the big.
Yeah, like where did that come from? You're stuck forever. You're a scorpion. Like I can't sit on a toilet with this tail, bro. Fuck.
He's gonna get one of those like squatting Asian toilets that are like on the floor. So I don't know if that answered everything, Ped, but thank you for the question. I think that was a pretty good one, even though we got real tangenty on it.
I think we had to cover all the bases.
I think we just rambled about a bunch of things.
We explored the possibilities.
Guys, we're comic book experts. Kinda. Not scientists.
And neither were the people who wrote the science in your comic
that's
books.
true, because if you got powers like the Hulk, you'd be dead. If you got powers like Spider-Man, you'd be dead.
Or the Fantastic Four.
You'd be dead. I don't know, if you built like an Iron Man suit, I think it'd be okay. Just wouldn't actually go anywhere.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust that shit.
What, an Iron Man suit? What?
Yeah. Because I don't think you can realistically stabilize it.
There are guys who are currently working on it. They're like multi-year projects of like making like not repulsors, but like boosters in boots and hands, like gauntlets.
Yeah, I see those guys down at like spring break on the water rocket thing and trying to like
same principle, but
yeah, I see them bust their ass all the time.
Not water.
Yeah, let me know when.
I'm just saying they've been working on it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, let me know when it's patented on the market.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a long time. It's gonna be a real long time. So to books, we're a little behind just because we had that early record session last time. So we're going to have a little backlog. But I'd say we start with stuff this week. And I will say Red Doctor Strange, that was okay. For
rave review for one of your favorites.
I did. It's a really weird spot.
Okay. How is it prevalent to Doom everywhere?
Relevant?
Yes.
He is currently... So, he goes to Asgard, and he goes, "Hey, Thor, you should let me be Sorcerer Supreme of Asgard." And Thor's like, "We never had one of those before." And he's like, I know, but you need one now because Loki's not around." He's like, "Go talk to this sorceress I have around."
So, does not the possession of the Eye of Agamotto make you Sorcerer Supreme?
That is yes. That is the thing that allows you to hold the office. Is
Are
your
they
thing
now implying that each realm has an eye?
No, they're basically...
Does Asgard have an eye to give him?
No, this is not how that works.
Because it's bad enough we have Gambit running around with an eye.
Yeah. Well,
there's two eyes now. I know you're not a fan.
We've talked about it. I don't think we need to go over it again.
I think it's what we do. Listen, that is an elephant in the room until they do something with that thing. Because Gambit's running around with shit he shouldn't have.
Someone else is going to put on that eye, and that's going to be the reason they defeat Doom, or they'll swap it, do a switcheroo, something stupid. It's going
to be Storm.
Yeah, maybe, probably.
Come on,
she's got Witchblood.
Gambit's so close to Aurora. Now she's got Witchblood. Mm-hmm. She's like hosting a god entity right now.
Yeah, we've talked about all the reasons already why that.
Yeah, it's going to be her. But him saying you don't have one and Loki's not here, like, does that imply that Loki is Asgard's Sorcerer Supreme? When
Sorcerer Supreme is being used as a term, not an actual position.
I don't like it.
Basically saying, as Sorcerer Supreme on Midgard, I managed magic. I controlled magic to make sure everything ran smoothly because it is a constant thing that needs to be upkept. Loki was doing that in his own way.
I call bullshit on that. I don't think Loki's managing anything responsibly.
Yes. Look, I'm just going by what the book is saying.
I just don't playing devil's advocate. I just don't see that as a thing.
Don't disagree with you. But apparently there's other skalds in Asgard that kind of like manage the magic. Like he goes to speak to a specific sorceress.
All right, fine. Sorcerer Supreme is not just a title of the eye holder. It is a person responsible for magic in your realm.
Well, again, it's Strange going to Thor and going like, "Can you create this position for me here? Thanks." That's what that was. It wasn't. They weren't called Sorcerer Supremes. They don't need one because basically the entire issue is everyone shitting on Doctor Strange
for asking for a fake title.
They're kind of dressing him down, going like, "You were the Sorcerer Supreme, but then you gave the Eye of Agamotto and your title to a bad guy. Whoa, that's pretty rough, huh? And now you're here trying to do something. Woof, okay." And like Thor's pretty cool about it, but kind of like backhanded. He meets a couple other like minor Asgardian characters, and they kind of like, "Whoa, that's kind of shitty." It's basically just thrown in his face over and over again.
I mean, for an alien race of gods to act real shitty to a mortal, I mean, that's okay, especially a mortal who fucked up big like Strange did. Mm-hmm. And since Strange is a pompous kind of character,
he seems very humble in this one because everyone's just shitting on him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a nice, it's different flavor for him.
So anyway, he goes to meet the sorceress, and she's like, she kind of lays into him too. They have a conversation, and she's like, "Yeah, I think we could probably work it out, but you need to figure out, because there's a difference between Asgardian magic and Midgardian magic. You need to figure that shit out." Then Loki shows up, and he makes everything worse.
Okay, but back to my question. Mm-hmm. What does this have to do with Doctor Doom?
I think Strange's plan is to use this as a stepping stone in order to regain some sort of like magical supremacy in order to be able to fight Doom and get the Eye of Agamotto back in some way.
Oh, he should just go ask Amber for his eye. So Doom's not in the issue?
No.
Doom is not addressing the issue other than the fact that you gave it to him, stupid?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
And at least 4 people said that to him.
Well, in a related thing, Weapon X-Men from a week ago or 2 weeks ago, same thing.
Didn't read that.
Same thing.
Okay.
His team gets together. They're going to do some stuff. Looks like they're going after Thunderbird because Thunderbird's on some kind of rampage in Latveria. So they're kind of like, we got to stop this before it's like a national crisis thing.
Just let him.
Yeah.
He's been dead a while. He could die again.
So
Warpath is going to be the only one upset.
yeah, right. The wrap up is Deadpool stabs the team in the back. And Deadpool stabs the team in the back. Deadpool is sucker shoots, blows up, explodes Wolverine, and is going to turn him over to not Doom, Baron Strucker. I don't know what Baron Strucker. Yeah, why is Baron Strucker here? What does any of this have to do with Doctor Doom? And is Nitro in the book in it only because one of the creators' last name is Nitro?
Well, that'd be fun. Look, if a character had my last name specifically, I would love that character to the ends of the earth.
Yeah, because like Cable, Wolverine, Deadpool,
Yep.
and then Thunderbird and Nitro.
Guy who can explode.
Sure.
It's a good power when you want to kill a school full of children.
Oh yeah, and Cable gives Nitro this like little like pep talk speech, like you're here because you're one of us, you're a weapon, and it's like, no, I don't think so. I think you're here because the guy on the cover's name is Nitro, and that's really why I think you're here because you have nothing to do with any of these people historically.
I mean, what is Nitro but a weapon?
Sure,
He's a bomb man.
he is a bomb man. He's a bomb mouth.
Speaking of stabbing people in the back, Loki quite literally stabs someone in the back and leaves Doctor Strange holding the bag. So running theme, I guess, between all the Doom stuff.
So far as like a Doom ruled Marvel U, none of the books have anything to do with Doom.
We're setting. Look, this is a Marvel event, sir. You know, 95% of the titles coming out are gonna have absolutely nothing to do with it.
I would just like to see the title character show up once or twice.
He does in his title, and it was amazing.
It is one shot. So when we
that was part of like one in like a 7 or 9 issue series. Sir. That was not a one shot.
All right, I thought we were gonna get the end caps, like the Omega and the Alpha Omega issues.
This is a traditional Marvel event where you have your main storyline and you have all the circle of bullshit around it.
I wish it was a traditional Marvel event where I don't read any of the shit in between and I read the Alpha and Omega issues and I go, oh, that's what happened? Sweet.
I will say that most of the stuff, at least they're doing, sounds interesting, like is worth giving a try. Most of it, not all of it. I skipped Thunderbolts.
That's your first sign that shit's not going to be good when it sounds interesting. It's like the manhunt for Xavier. Oh, this sounds interesting.
I'm going to tell you, I didn't read those issues, but I'm not looking forward to it at all. Sir.
I read all 3 of the issues that come out this week all at once. Sat down, read them in a row.
And how do you feel about it?
Well, Chuckles gets a distress call from his daughter out in space, which I'm still on the hook for that story. I still want more of that.
No thanks. No thanks. Space, you say? Bird people?
Bird people.
Fuck you.
Listen, those are 2 of my biggest fuck yous. Space and the Shi'ar. This is my number one thing I hate about the X-Men is anytime they throw them into space. But Chuckles has a daughter and has been on panel with her like twice ever, I think. So, like, him getting a distress call, people are going to go kill his daughter because she's the, slated next empress.
Yeah, she's the heir. Is it? But
yeah,
last time wasn't she already queen?
Yeah, but they had to hide her for something.
So who's leading now?
Another magistrate.
Okay, cool. I don't know. Gladiator, because Gladiator gets the role sometimes.
It was there. Sometimes he does it begrudgingly. I know. I am aware of one time he did it begrudgingly. I don't know who's calling the shots right now. Okay. It might still be Gladiator.
All right.
I don't recall anyone taking the place after
like
Gladiator.
Bullshit Shi'ar person who no one cares about.
Well, it was Lilandra. Lilandra dies. Then it was Deathbird and Vulcan by marriage because he married Deathbird. Then Lilandra wasn't dead. So Vulcan died and Lilandra wasn't dead.
Is it Deathbird again?
No, it's not Deathbird because Deathbird's babysitting.
So Deathbird is a Warbird.
Warbird. Warbird? Deathbird? I don't know. some kind of bird. Purple bird.
There's two birds.
Yeah.
If it's purple, it's Deathbird, yeah.
Yeah, it's Deathbird.
Yeah.
Where Woodward's part of the guard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's the one who was with Gladiator's kid.
Yeah, she got the white, the white like feathers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what she are. They do that.
Well, most of the feathers are black. That's I didn't know they were feathers when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I got no idea.
Yeah, because they wear clothes because they're they suck. They're like, these are all bullshit. No one wants to see these.
I thought they were like Alice in Wonderland, like playing card people. They all look like clubs or something. You know, I was like, what the hell is this? Like, that's not a feather. Like, what is that? But anyway, the last I was aware of, it was Gladiator.
Yep. Okay, so person doing whatever now. Sure.
Yeah.
Continue.
With that start, I was interested. Like, all right, Xavier's going to break out of prison, and he's going to go, like, save his daughter. This is all cool.
You said a lot of words I don't give a fuck about, so I'm not interested at all.
I know, but we're going to make Chuckles... Listen. Charles has been on a downswing for man, like, over a decade of like, terrible shit that, like...
And I'm down for that.
Right, so, like, to see Charles... Like, Charles, he always has that bullshit where it's like, yes, it looked like I killed 100 humans, but I did it to make Scott not feel bad. And it's like, all right, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Sure, you have good intentions, but you keep continuously coming off being the douche.
Well, because I'm a giant douche.
Yeah. Like, keeping danger trapped in a computer and just, terrible. Historically, he just seems to get worse.
And absentee father.
Yeah, I know, but like to see him go and make up for it would be nice. Like, just go save your daughter, be a hero for a change. I don't know. One of the funniest things when he gets out of the cell, he's like, I'm walking. Why am I walking?
His legs have worked.
I know.
They've been working for the past 5 years at least, if not more. I don't know. When's the last time he was in a fucking chair?
Well,
he's been walking since Utopia.
Right. Yeah.
He might have had a relapse at some point, but for the majority of the time, he's been walking.
The best thing about it is he gets out, and then...
If you're going to go to space, you need to be able to walk upstairs.
Yes. He gets out, and then proceeds to screw over more mutants.
So we know he was just kind of like in prison under his own volition.
Yes.
How does he get out? Does he just like, all right, everyone let me out?
No. They made it appear that he couldn't get out. He was...
So he's a liar even to us.
Yes, even to us. He's communicating with his daughter. Like, kinda. And like, I don't they got him in the chair with like the hood over his head, and he's convulsing and spitting, and they're like, oh, he's in distress, there's something wrong with him, and they have like a robotic arm deliver a syringe to like sedate him.
Okay.
And then he has the evil witch monster that apparently is an ex-girlfriend.
Oh, Sarah Good.
Yeah, the Sarah Good thing. He reaches out to her, is like, help me get out of here, I have to save my daughter. And she's like, I hate you, but sure. Because, children.
Fine. Garbage reason, but fine.
Yeah. So she helps bust him out. And then he just disappears. And then the institution of mutant-hating people call the X-Men for help. And what? And then he goes to the NYX kids and screws a bunch of them over. And it's like,
so Xavier goes to them.
Yeah. When we jump from Uncanny to NYX.
Help me, teenagers.
Yeah, all the teenagers go, you suck. We don't want to hang out with you because you're old. You smell bad. And who does he screw? He screws over a Knoll and Miss Marvel.
Why? How?
Because he has to sneak into the treehouse, the X-Men base.
Yeah, in Central Park.
Because there's a Krakoan seed there. Like the last Krakoan seed is there.
And this selfish fucker's going to use it.
Well, yeah, it's what you think, right? It's like, oh, cool, he's going to open up a portal and he's going to go instant space, so a portal into space. No, that's not it. His stupid helmet thing is buried in the tree somewhere. So, he tells the kids, like, yeah, you got to go fight Mojo for the seed. And they're like, okay, let's go. And he's like, no, I have to go do my own thing. Fuck you guys. And he goes and digs up his helmet, which I don't remember being buried there at all.
He's got spares around, don't worry about it.
There were lots of that helmet. Like, one was turned into a sword and shit like that.
Terrible looking thing. He's just like, I need to look bad to go to space.
Mojo gets the seed and turns into like a super Mojo, which is even.
I fucking hate that Mojo's a thing at all.
He's even more disturbing looking buff and ripped than he is as a fat pudge of yellow pudding.
Even in his most recent iteration as like Mr. Friendly or whatever the fuck he's going by, he gets grosser every time I see him.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I just want to spray cleaner on him. It's like he's a grease stain.
I like MIX. I just hate that Mojo is a recurring thing in the story.
Yeah,
makes me sad.
Those kids are better than that villain. They deserve a better villain.
Well, they're a bunch of kids. They got to fight a
child molester looking.
I was gonna say a pedophile. Yeah,
it's not okay. No,
weirdo,
gross.
like bad vibes guy.
Yeah. There's a reference you will not get by age, but Mojo makes me want to hanker for a hunk of cheese.
I know that.
Do you know that commercial? That guy that sings a song about the cheese?
I know of it just through like cultural osmosis. I've never seen it at all. I've heard the tune though.
Okay, but you don't know what the character looks like?
No.
Yeah, look that character up. That is a mobile Mojo.
Okay.
He does not need the spider walker.
Okay.
But yeah, and then he goes and he visits Storm.
Okay.
And Storm has a spaceship, and I don't know why.
Why does she need a spaceship?
Well, all right. Well, she
can literally fly wherever she wants.
She has a sanctuary in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
Which
does she have any connection to Atlanta? Because I don't think she does.
No, none that I know of.
She just likes the weather?
Yeah, I guess.
I like it humid.
Humidity. I like it hot and wet. It gives me all the weathers.
Yeah, I can do whatever I want here.
Maggot's chilling there for some reason.
Oh, good. Good. Every time Maggot shows up.
Right?
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good
gold.
Story.
Yeah.
Yes. Why? They're making some weird ass choices, man.
No reason. No reason. It starts off with her outside seemingly making the storm. And then it talks about like the sanctuary that her home becomes during storms and times of crisis. So there's only two kinds of animals taking refuge in her home. And I didn't know that either were indigenous to Georgia, but one was like capybaras.
Capybaras?
Yeah, capybaras or nutrient maybe.
Well, they're different.
I know they're I know they're two different things.
Capybaras are more square.
And that's why I want to say the capybaras, because the fronts were square. They were less rat looking or possum looking than a nutrient. And hippos.
Okay.
I shit you not. Okay. Like the doors are open and capybaras and hippos are coming into her home.
Okay.
And Maggot is explaining to his maggots that they're not allowed to eat the hippos. They're only allowed to eat the hippo feed.
Great. As I said, fantastic. Maggots around.
Yeah, but why? Like, hippos in Georgia? Is that what?
She's robbing a zoo?
I don't know. It's so weird. So she decides to cook for Charles. Not because she's being hospitable, but because it might be his last meal once he's caught for escaping prison.
Oh, okay.
So it's
like, I'll feed you. You're fucked, though.
Yeah. She tries to pull this, like, I already reported you to the Avengers thing, and he's like, no, you didn't. And she's like, all right, I didn't, but I'm gonna. And then the X-Men show up. Like, they port, like, into her fucking house. Like, Magic
so they knew, or did Storm call them?
No! They just show up in her fortress thingy.
Spaceship.
Thundercloud.
Great.
Big.
This sounds really bad.
It's terrible.
My expectations of this event were very low.
And now it just dropped.
And it's making it worse. I didn't think it would be this bad.
Think about how
I still have to read it. I might love it. You don't know that.
Think about how bad it is. Like, I was so into it for like the first 2 pages of like, yeah, Chuck, go save your girl.
Now he's just road tripping around and just getting shit on by all his students.
Yes. And then like Storm and Scott, like, they throw down while Maggot holds off like the rest of the fucking X team.
Incorrect.
And Charles.
And a couple hippos.
But like Storm and Cyclops give this exchange of power that is like it's not friendly. It's not even remotely close to like, all right, we were friends, and now like you know you're doing something I don't approve of, like by protecting and aiding and abetting Charles.
Yeah.
But like Scott's shooting his optic blast at her with a ferocity that it shatters his visor.
Now, so that's a cool visual, I would think. I haven't seen it. But has that ever happened at all ever?
No, not that I know of.
And he's like straight up like leveled like buildings,
Yeah.
shot through mountains,
Yep.
taken down giant sentinels,
Yep.
without shattering his visor.
Right.
So he's trying to fuck up Storm.
Is
Is he still bitter about that time she beat his ass?
without powers? You know what it is? Times are real hard. They ain't got the kind of money they had since their nation crumbled. So he's buying them cheap visors.
Oh, yeah, he's buying like 6-packs,
Yeah,
like
knockoff
on the cheap.
Ruby
Yeah.
But she, from issue 5 of Storm, she is also playing host to some god type entity. And it takes over. Like the word bubbles change. It's no longer Storm. It's this goddess thing. The costume changes. She turns all white and powerfully and lightning crackly. And then like kind of like her power usurps Cyclops' power and like pushes the optic blast back into his head. And it looks like to me, it looks like Scott's dead. Like he's got ice coming out of his mouth, ice coming out of his eyes. I don't know why she has Iceman powers, but she definitely,
weather.
Yeah. By all intents and purposes, looking at the picture of Scott on the ground, that guy is dead.
Okay.
But no, because Temper is melting melting the ice away, and she
could turn that warm into cold, that cold into warm, and he'll be fine.
Yeah. So I don't know what books this bounces to next, but I'm sure it's going to be shit.
It sounds awful. It really does. Like I said, expectations are pretty low. I didn't want it to happen, but boy, oh boy, I don't want to read it anymore now.
I just like they presented 2 pages of me going, yeah, Charles, go be a hero. I was even hoping he'd round up some fucking X-Men on the way. Hey,
you don't hate me so much. Come on.
Show up with a team. Like, haha, I've got people. Like, oh, no. Just disappointment after disappointment after disappointment.
It's a bummer.
Yeah, and I still, so much of it, it's like, why? Why did Rogue's team go to the place that had him locked up? It was like, yeah, we'll chase him down for you. But what? You wanted to free him?
Well, they have
2 issues ago.
They have a good working relationship with him. They brought her. They brought them Sarah Good, right?
But they brought Sarah Good to her before they wanted to break him out. They wanted to break him out, and fighting with Scott seemed to not happen after.
I'm just saying stupid shit because I don't know why they would be like, yeah,
because it fits in with the other stupid shit.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It is not okay.
All right, let's stop talking about X-Men.
Well, I mean, it's as irrelevant as Doom not being in any of the Doom stuff.
Another book from this week that I thought was okay. It has bigger implications than what goes on in the book. But Secret Six #1. Okay. Which is like a whole new reimagining of Secret Six. Because it's none of the same people.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I miss all of those people.
Yeah, same thing. I'm a big Ragdoll fan.
Yeah, Ragdoll, even Jeanette, the vampire, turning out to be Silver Banshee.
Yeah.
And Deadshot and Catman are always classic Butch Cassidy Sundance Kid of that book.
But this one is Jonathan Kent, his boyfriend Jay Nakamura. I forget his superhero name.
I forget his regular name.
It's Jay Nakamura.
Yeah.
Dreamer. They end up picking up Black Alice, and then they
stumble onto Deadshot and Catman at the end.
Right. But
which I'm not really sure what happens on that last page.
I don't know. I'm hoping the second issue is just like their story to get to that last point, and then we can move forward with the whole story, issue 3 of it all together.
But Black Alice teleports them out of the scenario and into wherever they are.
Yes.
And I don't know, it almost implies that they bump into Deadshot and he accidentally shoots Catman.
I don't think that's what that was. I think they have a pre-existing
they were fighting.
Beef, yeah.
Which Like,
Because like Deadshot's dressed weird too. He's dressed like he's like a military guy. He's not even in a suit.
yeah, he's not even in the red.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they,
And Catman is just on the floor bleeding.
yeah.
But
they in the past in Secret Six has flip flopped several times.
Yeah. So a lot of the issues just kind of like drama.
Yeah,
between
and
characters.
it's bad because it's teen dating drama.
Yes.
Jonathan's boyfriend doesn't like Dreamer, and he's threatened by her for some reason.
That's not. So I think you're taking it. What the real issue is that Dreamer's the reason that Jay's mom is dead and his country is taken back over.
Sure.
So that's what his whole thing is like. You fucked me over, and I lost people. I got hurt, and he's mad that Jonathan is willing to kind of forgive her,
and
because she saved him.
And she saved
from Maniac
Jonathan
Queen.
during him. Yeah, when she
for Absolute Power.
Yeah.
So it's them butting heads. It's not like a love triangle thing going on.
It's interesting. I hate talking about LGBTQ shit when you're not a member, because it's like, I don't want to say something wrong. Mm-hmm. But like,
look, we have good intentions,
right? But through trans friends, we know that there is sometimes dislike or hostility from the gay community towards the trans community. Mm-hmm. You know,
yeah, it's a thing, sure.
And Jonathan, like, being nice or being okay or feeling like he owes a Dreamer, being a trans woman, you know, like, is Nakayama like anti-trans as a gay man?
I don't think that's what they're trying to go for. I think it literally,
you can't date her just because she was a man. She's not anymore, and you're gay. Like, you can't. No going back.
I don't think that's what they're trying to get across at all.
I know, but like,
yes, it is a reflection of something that is real. Well, just they have that little dead naming thing in there too with Black Alice and Dreamer.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's, you know, I think you know, for a lot of people who don't like that kind of stuff in their comics, this was written well.
Yeah, it's written like real people. It wasn't being preachy. It was just like, this is how people in those situations would talk to each other.
Right, but it also wasn't like, you know, like showboating, like, this is my boyfriend, Jonathan and Nakayama, we're like holding hands through every panel, or like sharing a kiss in between fighting, which, you know, it's a lot of over the top stuff. The Black Alice, when Dreamer calls Black Alice by her regular name, and she's like, you know, like, I thought, you know, using preferred names was a thing, and fucking Dreamer's like, I will kill you.
Yeah.
When you get out of here.
No, yeah. Look, I like the writing overall. It's just like the whole book just felt like it was drama. So I'm in the middle on it. Like, I want to see what's going on with Deadshot and Catman to see what's going to push this forward. But the whole conceit of the book is that Amanda Waller has escaped prison and nobody knows. And that's the big implication, because if Waller's out, that's a big deal for the DC universe.
The tone between the four younger characters being very catty,
hostile,
and hostile and snippy with each other.
It's just Jonathan going, "Hey guys, it's cool, guys."
Yeah. But I just can't wait to see how it's handled by Deadshot and Catman, because Deadshot and Catman are just like these old guys that are just like, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing here? What are we in high school? Like, what's going on?
I'm curious to see who's going to be the empathetic one out of the two of them, because it could be either. Because both of them are hard asses, but both of them have soft spots. Like, we've seen that with Deadshot and his daughter. And
Deadshot has a daughter.
His daughter's like of a similar age as these characters, a little younger. So maybe he's be a little better with talk. I don't know. I'm just curious to see how that's going to go.
There's so many characters that have kids, and I hate it. I can't stand it.
You had a whole tirade on this not too long ago.
Yeah, and it muddies it up so badly.
I'm fine with it. I think it's fine.
That's great. I think you got soft because you had a kid.
I don't think that's it at all.
You have your own sidekick now, so you're like, it's great if they all have sidekicks.
Whoa! You know me very well, and you know I don't let having a kid color my opinions on things at all.
Not at all. But like, you know, there's way too many Robins, and now there's too many Superboys, and there's shit like that where it's just like too many. Like, you can't walk this back. You can't just start killing them either. You know, but there are characters that shouldn't have, like Deadpool. It shouldn't be a thing. It should not be a thing, because now you're training your kid to murder.
He didn't do it. She just started doing it after he died.
Right, but now he's working with her. He's back, and they are killing people.
Well, she already did it herself, so you can't be like, no, you can't do it now.
That is a shitty devil advocate. That is the worst excuse forever. But anyway, my point is, I actually really like Deadshot's kid. And I like Deadshot's kid's name is Sure Shot. I don't know, just a little BC Boy thing for me. Like, but it's like I kind of wanted her to like really step up and be a thing and just like have it be unavoidable that she is his kid. Like, she's like mini Bullseye. She just never misses. And it's just like, well, damn, kid, if you're this good, absolutely you can kill people with me. What the fuck? I can hold you back. Yeah, but you're a natural.
But the better story is to, like, her be like, no, I don't want to hurt people, Dad. And then she becomes, like, you know, on a new crop of, like, Titans or something like that. You know, go the other way.
Ew.
What do you mean, ew? Why ew?
Make it all wholesome and shit.
No, you create internal conflict in the family.
I don't know.
Then she's got to stop her dad from killing somebody? Come on, a nice emotional book going on.
That's not Deadshot. Deadshot would just walk away again. He'd be like, all right, whatever.
It'd be emotional from her point of view. And if he's going to have any kind of like emotions for anybody, it's her.
Stop. That's what we have Deathstroke for. Deathstroke and Rose can have that bullshit. Deathstroke and Rose can have that bullshit. She's an anti-hero at best. Who, Rose?
Yeah.
She was a Titan.
Great. But
I'm just saying, I like the fit of it on Deadshot. I think it's an interesting thing for him who, yes, is written comically sometimes, but there is not a comical feel to what he does.
No, he's a murderer by trade.
Right. You know what I'm saying? This isn't like a Deadpool thing. Even Taskmaster, who's very good at what he does, gets pulled down by the humor sometimes. Deadshot's, you know, real world humor. Most of the time, pretty nasty.
Yes.
You know? Like, Deadshot's humor is so deadpan. I remember when Batman's, like, working with the Secret Six and something happened to the Batmobile, and, like, Deadshot and Batman and a dog are just left on a curb, and they're just standing there with the dog in between them, and Deadshot's smoking a cigarette. He just kind of looks over at Batman. He's like, "So, you want me to call you a cab or something?" And Batman's like, "No," and he's like, "Is there anyone I could call for you?" And Batman's like, "No." And Deadshot's like, "All right, good talk," and walks away.
Yeah, I'm fine with all that. So I just want to touch on a couple things, just rapid fire a few things, just because we're running up on time.
And before we started, we were like, "What the fuck are we even going to talk about?"
We have that conversation every time we sit down at the mic. Nightclub 2 wrapped up.
Yeah,
great wrap up.
Throw down at the dam.
Yep. It was a little underwhelming, like the last one, where it's like, well, you kind of got out real easy because of one thing that happened.
I mean, yeah, but like every issue builds in like, oh shit, and then it's like, well, glad that wrapped up with a bow.
Right, but it was just like, I'm cool with it. Slightly underwhelming. I still really liked it, and it set up another volume, which I'm happy about.
When I took notes on issue 6, I was like, all right, throw down at the dam. But wait, there's more.
Yeah,
because that guy wakes up at the end.
Yeah,
and what is that? Rizzo's dad?
Yeah, Rizzo's dad. Yeah. Which is like, oh, you're a big tattoo guy. You're very strong. You're gonna fuck everyone up because you're a professional criminal.
Yeah. So still great.
Yes.
Can't wait for more.
Yes. I'm very excited. I love that book. We've got seasons 2 came out. Great.
I mean, there's
a lot to deal with in that issue, but it is still great. I still recommend reading seasons very much.
All the sisters now, not just spring, but you get more in depth on autumn and summer and winter.
Yeah, and autumn and spring are the only ones who are cool, and spring and summer are terrible in their own special ways. What do you mean? Summer and winter are both bitches of different stripes.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like neither of them did anything heinous.
No, but they're shitty people.
They're drama queens. I don't think being dramatic and there's always a sibling that's like, oh, shut up. Winter. Spring when spring goes into Winter's room, and she's like, "Oh, you disrupted me while I'm painting. Now this painting's ruined." Which, like, quite frankly, the piece of work on the thing was pretty cool. I thought it was cool. And just being an asshole. Like, that's all. It's just like, oh, stop it. Just stop. Just shut up. Like, if everything's they didn't murder anybody. They're just assholes.
If everything's so healthy and great, why is Spring's best friend her fish that she talks to? only.
Oh, because Spring probably has some mental disorders.
Yeah, because of her awful family.
Or maybe because of her dead parents.
Well, that could be too. She was talking to her dead parents through photo.
Yeah.
Yep. And how great she's doing.
So, don't blame anything on the sisters that are also grieving in their own bitchy ways.
Yeah, if you say so. It is still very good. I do recommend
Being
reading
an
it.
asshole is how I grieve.
It is. It still looks beautiful. I like where the story's going. I'm excited to see what happens.
I want to know why the carnival people can transform.
Because they're weird magic, evil things.
That
was from the message that Autumn sent.
I just need to know more. Mm-hmm. Like it's fun.
It's a little mystery that gets brought out. Yeah, and there's like a higher fantasy thing going on because Autumn has to get into a temple where like a giant gorilla's like guarding it, but it's like a gorilla with like a helmet and an axe.
Yeah, Autumn's segment of story being like the Indiana Jones-ish, and she's following the dad's diary. So
Yes.
he was a bit of that, if not, and the mother because they disappeared together adventuring.
Yeah.
So maybe Autumn takes after the parents adventuring, and that kind of like that. I would read a whole book on that alone.
Well, hopefully we'll get more of it.
Yeah, I hope we do get more of it. Instead of Autumn just like coming back to the town. It's like no, go investigate more temples and ruins and
Right.
shit. That's cool.
Something. And last thing I'll mention is my favorite book from last week. Straczynski's team-up book, Captain America Volstagg.
That was fun.
It gave Volstagg a lot of love, but was kind of tragic because Volstagg's very awesome, but he always has to play off being the fool because that's his role in the Warriors 3 with Thor.
Yeah,
But they justify him falling into that role over time, and him using it to the advantage of the group, even though it's not like where his heart is.
Yeah, it's there's aspects of the story that like conflict him being so awesome because he takes this altruistic stance to like lie.
Yeah, it's like a self-sacrifice.
Yeah, it's like you're lying and you're being deceitful, but you're kind of doing it in a noble manner.
It's definitely it's self-sacrificial. He's doing it in definitely a noble manner.
Yeah, but like you're also doing yourself a disservice because you're not being honest with yourself.
There's a lot of
feelings. For such a fun tongue-in-cheek issue, there's a lot of depth there.
That's what I mean.
There's a whole lot of depth.
There's a lot of tragedy inside how awesome he is.
It is a bit I don't know, not misleading, but like it's kind of like a red herring, like if you read it straightforward as like this tongue-in-cheek adventure with like him and Cap, and it's like, oh cool, this is fun. And it's like but it's not.
I mean, it's not. I think if you just read it straight up, it wouldn't come off that way either. Like it's not like a red herring or anything where it's like, oh, it kind of subverts your expectations of like who Volstagg is, and I think that's why it's great.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's great. So I really like that, and I know we both really like the Doom Rocket team up. I like this one better. I have some pre-existing love for Volstagg anyway, but I like this one better.
Yeah, I'm still with Doom.
Yeah, no, understandable.
But again, I'm not a big Steve Rogers fan.
I mean, Steve was basically there as a sounding board. He didn't even count.
Yeah.
He was a minor character at best in that book.
And I do kind of like appreciate that you got the what the fuck's going on vibe from Steve.
Yes, very much.
Why are you here?
Yeah.
Why?
So that's I read Zatanna too. Zatanna's a solid first issue, but like there's not a whole lot to go on because it was just like a very quick like montage, kind of like I solved the problem and here's the big one, like here's the real problem now, kind of thing. So it's not
okay.
It was a good read. I just know how to explain it.
It's on the pile. What's the big problem?
People are coming after her.
Why?
Because she's magic. Basically, by the end of the issue, she gets stabbed by an entity, by a kid working with an entity called the White Lady.
Okay.
Or like the White Woman. It was another magician from like the 20s.
Okay. So magic rivals.
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of.
All right.
It's interesting. I like Zatanna, and I think it's a strong first issue. I just don't know how to explain it very well.
I wish they would like break form from these characters. Like it doesn't always have to be a magic thing. I know she's a magic thing, but it doesn't always have
to be. It's her wheelhouse. And we don't get a lot of magic in the DC universe. It's her and Constantine.
And Etrigan.
Dr. Fate.
And Dr. Fate and Felix Faust.
Cool. How many series do we get with these people?
And lots of things that have to deal with Wonder Woman, because almost everything that deals with Wonder Woman's magic.
In some form or another, but it's not strictly magic. It's
no, it's not strictly, except for the fact that her father's a god and she has a magic lasso.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. stuff,
Blah, 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 blah.
magic stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the not magic, but Magic Liliana, Rasputin. It's like her series going on right now. You know, I love Magic. She's a great, fun character in the context of the X-Men. I love her interacting with the other characters her age. You know, little nuances that they've added to her, like her addiction to coffee and shit like that. But like this, we're 2 issues deep of her series that is supposed to be an ongoing. Oh, good, because like I don't think I could handle this.
Not
shit.
too many.
Yeah, it's like Demon of the Week, and she's dealing with demons and blah blah blah, and it's like old hat. It's like I don't like do something different. Like if you want to like, you know, make me really appreciate something, do something different.
Yeah, but they're giving her a story that is like just doesn't have a whole lot of strength to it. At least with Zatanna, like you can craft a magic story around her. I mean, she's on the Justice League. She's been in JLU a couple times as a support character. She can go do the regular adventure stuff, but her in that context, I think, is less interesting.
Seeing the characters in not the norm environment, like I always prefer better. So I'd rather see Zatanna not be there with all the other magic characters and
Just
date,
her on her own.
and date John Constantine just because John Constantine's the other magic guy in the universe. It's like no, like I like John better when he was gay. Like let John be gay.
He's bi.
I know. Is he? Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. They make characters go gay and then they never go back. Once you go cack, you never go back.
They do the bi thing so they could always, you know, move them around where they need them.
Yeah, but in Hellblazer, you know, in the Vertigo Hellblazer series,
in the last Zatanna mini, they spent a night together again.
Yeah. But it's like, I feel like it's at a default because what other magic guys can she date? None. Dr. Fate's really old. That's not cool. Yeah. Etrigan, who even knows if he has one? He looks like a gargoyle. He might turn to stone during the day.
Sure.
Like, you know. That's all. I
get where you're coming from.
I prefer her when she interacts with Batman. You know, let her do something that like is out of the norm. You know, Justice League setting for her, cool, because she has a power set that like most people don't have.
But that's the thing is like you throw her in a regular like some other setting, then it just becomes too overpowered to really tell like a solid story. It gets harder that way, you know.
It gets harder to read her dialogue because it's all backwards.
It slows down my reading pace so much to go.
I can't stand it.
And like figuring it out. Yeah.
Whenever I see a page and she's got like 3 paragraphs of like long paragraphs of dialogue, it's like, oh man.
They keep it short. They keep it to like very short sentences. Like God bless them too. But anything else you want to bring up before we go?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Well, then, next week will be part 2 of House of M review. Hope you guys are enjoying that. You know, me and Brian being X-guys, being very contested about a very X-Men-centric story, I think was an interesting turnout for that. So, wait and see what happens at the end of that, because we have another argument at the end of it. So, thanks for listening. If you want to get in contact with us, send us a question like Ped from Nerdy Naturalist did.
Thanks for the question, Ped.
Yes, thank you. You can send us discussion topics or future book reviews at thecomiccryptcast@gmail.com. Don't forget we're on YouTube now. It's not video, it's just still the audio podcast. And you can find us there by searching our handle, which is at theCryptcastNJ. And you can follow the store on Instagram and Facebook. Links are going to be in the show notes. And I think you should probably go read your books. I need to go read my books.
I need to go read my books.
Go read your books.
We loading up the hearse, throw it in reverse. I come from the church of the Marvel Universe. Bodies getting stuffed in the bags like comics. The hardcore get it while the soft bitches vomit. I came to this earth on a radiated comet. Now the planet is in perilous danger because I'm on it. Fly super villain with the superpowers in me. Got the rare issues and all my shit is minty. body like Ben Grimm. Suckers I be beating down. Look around and we be found chilling out in Eatontown. I be at the comic crypt stacking up the kryptonite. Doomsday and Superman every time I grip the mic. Dark Phoenix overloading, supernova sunspot exploding. I'm the Punisher reloading. Bobby Drake when he's frozen. Storm forming ominous clouds over the ocean. Working with Professor X to master my emotion. Have you posing in the box whether you know it or not. I'll easily bag your bitch like Logan did to Scott. Mr. Sinister plots when I administer shots to clone Gene from a jeans. Then this shit'll get hot like Inferno. Burn slow, humans are ash. God loves, man kills in the days of future past. Now I'm working on a science lesson. Me and Brian Stratton, a rat in a cage who can't stop buying X-Men.
Like a blood.